you won't be texting and driving with us up in your ride.
Hey, it's your girl, Cammie, Renee, and you're listening to Wake and Bake America Show. You know I bring you the best.
We're smoking.
Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is you do. Good, what the hell's up? What the hell is up, Chris?
What's up?
Nothing. We're letting you take over stuff, and so we're pretty excited for you for that. Just gonna throw that out there. Also, you suck.
Oh, are we talking fantasy football?
Oh no. Although I have found that the idiot that tends to go the longest undefeated tends to get knocked out of the playoffs first, though.
I get knocked out of the goddamn playoffs every year, so shut up.
Yeah, but it's usually not first. I mean, that's fair. Unless you face me. I've knocked you out a couple of times in the first round.
Yes. Yeah, you suck.
Anyway. So a couple things here. We are definitely going to be diving into the Endo cannabinoid system today. Chris is going to educate us on all the Endo cannabinoid of all the cannabinoid or whatever.
The ECS, just
he's going to game us
layman's terms.
Excuse me. I took a big rip of this dab pen and now I'm okay, I'm all right. No jokes aside, I'm all right. But before we can do the endocannabinoid system, we have to do the fan mail because it's time for fan mail. That's fan mail. When you're a motherfucking fan of the show, you send us fan mail. Then we read it live on the show because we love fan mail. They pay me to sing that. Okay, they don't. I do it for free. I do it because I want to. All right, so with that, the endocannabinoid system we'll be getting into, but before that, the fan mail. Yo, about that weed show, though, from Pennsylvania, your timing, my friend, is utterly impeccable, as that's literally the show we're doing today. So I like your style, and I like your timing. Comedy's about timing, my friend, and your timing is good. Also, calling people out is all about timing, and clearly your timing is good. You two seem like intelligent individuals. I don't know if that's a comment or a smart-ass comment. I feel like that could really go either way with us and our fan base.
Yeah.
Thank you, Idaho. Idaho, too, from my old neighborhood. So I get you. Is the loud one that talks a lot. This feels pointed. Is the loud one that talks a lot this loud and talks a lot in public and in person, or is this just an act? That's from Georgia. No, this be me, boo. This be me.
For real.
For reals.
100.
Oh, I believe this question's for you, Chris. I can't answer this one. Is Flint, Michigan a place you want to bring your family to live, or is it more of a place for middle-aged people whose kids have moved on? I think that's a good question.
That's number 2 for sure.
It's for middle-aged people whose kids don't live with them. Welcome to Flint, where we don't even have schools because we don't want your kids here. No, I'm just kidding.
Or we want to poison you with the water.
Oh, dear God, please don't bring that back, Art. I mean, it never left me and you. Oh, dear God. We had to raise money. We sent water, didn't we? You took We sent money for water and someone took water.
I took water and money.
That's what it was. I know that we got people to send money and stuff from the radio show. Like we really used our AM FM presence well to do, as I like to say.
Yes.
All right, buddy, listen. It's the Christopher Show.
It's
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fired up.
So, Chris.
Yes, sir.
So you told me you wanted to do a show that involved the ECS, which I thought was the emergency communication system when you first said it to me. I'm not going to lie.
Well, fair.
I was like, what do you know about the ECS? Like you don't know about that. Why are you asking me about it? And then I realized you were talking about weed, which is actually that's better. That's actually on brand for you.
Right.
So anyway,
You're the one that came from the whole radio industry. I was just drug into it.
I was like, the emergency management system. What the fuck does he want to know about that? And why did he call it by the wrong name? All right. Well, the endocannabinoid system, um, wonderful, wonderful thing. I'm going to let you take the lead on this. I'm just going to throw one thing out on there. In my infinite wisdom to not just show up and fake it till I make it. Like I mean, I can do that. Don't get me wrong. I'm actually really good at faking it until I make it. That's kind of my thing. I mean, it honestly, if faking
Don't
it
tell
till
the
you make it
ladies.
at a picture, it'd probably be me. But I will say this. The one thing that I will throw out there and still a little thunder out of your, show is that I found it extremely fascinating and somewhat odd that I didn't actually pick up on this sooner, that that every living animal, every vertebrae, birds, mammals, reptiles, fish, amphibians, all have an endocannabinoid system. If you have a spine, to put it mildly and simply put, if you have a fucking spine, you have an endocannabinoid
Well,
system, and
well,
I just
well,
think that's
here,
super cool.
this is
Super
a
cool.
twister for you, though. I mean, they've even come to as far as researching invertebrates as well.
Interesting.
So, yeah,
I don't
we're
really
not
trust
just
those
talking.
spineless bastards.
We're not just talking, birds, mammals, humans, shit like that. Everything has some form of a cannabinoid system receptor in their body. I mean, we are born and built with a weed system already loaded into your body.
Yeah, a way to process cannabinoids. That's the part that's just left me dumbfounded and somewhat struck for so many years because it is super duper cool.
Yeah, I mean, it even gets more in depth than what the show's going to bring. I mean, we're trying to, no offense, but bring it down to layman terms so a lot of people can understand it. But scientists discovered it when they were trying to figure out how THC affected humans. They found this spiraling network of receptors and signal molecules that regulate particularly everything in your body: your mood, your appetite, your sense of smell, pain receptors, even memory.
So it seems fairly important.
Like every system in your body has some sort of cannabis receptor. It's already been scientifically proven.
I
The
just think
CB,
it's so cool that it's literally, at least at, again, I understand what you just said, but at face value and current education basing, at least we know every vertebrae has an endocannabinoid system. And so what that tells me as somebody who's science driven, right? I'm a nerd and I love science, right? What that tells
yes,
me is that we're talking in that 700 to 500 million year mark ago during the evolutionary process, right? Of all things that live, right? You have to go back that far, literally that far, to
yep,
understand when this became a thing. Because for it to spread across that many types of animals that are all vertebrae, right? That alone, that knowledge alone tells me that system has to go back between 5 and 700 million years in evolutionary standards. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I mean they only really touch on the two main receptors, the CB1 receptor and the CB2 receptor. CB1 receptor mostly in your brain and central nervous system, which hits these you get high effect, uh, coordination, your mood, all that stuff is affected by that one receptor. The CB2 receptor, found mainly in the immune system and certain organs, these are the ones that key play in reducing inflammation, pain, regulating your heartbeat,
Right.
regulating your metabolism. I
Interesting.
mean, it really gets down and dirty
You know,
with how much your body is actually in need and actually produces its own THC.
I do find it fascinating that over the last 20 years, for those of you who don't know, I'm basically a walking science experiment, and I have been for like 2 decades. One thing I find fascinating, Chris, is over the last 20 years of sort of the experimentation of me really in cannabis, right? Um, is that everything that you're mentioning from, regulating like blood pressure, right? It's really weird that I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, started smoking pot, and then was undiagnosed with high blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? Or, well, not just
Uh,
smoking pot, but eating it and doing other things too that may not be as bad, right? But listen, if you know me, you know I love a good doobie. It is what it is.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
probably never going to change on that. I've tried to quit smoking pot. I run 10 miles on the weekend, Chris. Tell them I send you the fucking screenshot from my Fitbit tracker because I'm
Yeah.
flexing. I run 10 miles, guys, and I still smoke pot. And I probably could run I could probably run that 10 miles like 10 minutes faster if I didn't. But here we are. A man enjoys what a man enjoys, like a lady enjoys what a lady enjoys, and a lady never tells, or some shit like that. Um,
No kissing and telling, man.
oh man, don't kiss me. I tell everybody. I'm like, oh my god, do you know who I'm making out with? Oh my god, she actually likes me. I'm cute. Yay. Seriously though, like I'm like a 5-year-old. If you like me, I'm like, oh my god, she likes me. That's my wife. I still act like a toddler with her. I'm like, oh,
Hey,
kindergarten
hey,
love. I'm cute, but
right.
I'm also a toddler with a 401k, so I have buying power, bitches. What?
And I'm potty trained.
That's debatable. That's that at life is real. I don't want to really get into it, but that's debatable. And I'm oddly struck that I have to say that.
I got
So,
a I got a twister for you here about the whole endo
oh, I
cannabinoid
thought you were going to
system.
talk about, not being able to say that. Yeah, okay. Whew, okay, I didn't know where that was
No,
going. All right, let's go back to the
right.
show. Yeah, go ahead.
You have to take in concept that they have found that male and female receptors when it comes to cannabis are different.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that totally. Like, there'll be a weed and I'll smoke it and I'll be all stony crusty dude and or horn dog and mom will be like the vice versa opposite. Whatever that
Right,
means, right?
right. So different receptors in women affect them differently than they do in men. They've also found that women have a couple extra receptors because of their type of reproductive system,
Right.
due to
Hmm.
the fact that they grow humans for Christ's sakes.
I mean, you do literally grow humans. I mean, oddly impressive at the very least for anyone, unless you're a dick.
Yeah,
I always say that baby gets all its goodies from our side, but it can't exist without hers. So fuck off. It is what it is. Oh,
you have to think of this system as the perfect lock and key to
well, hear me out.
potentially
Answer
go
me
ahead.
why I can't get fat no more, but also can't. I don't get too skinny either. Answer me why the blood pressure went away. Answer me why I don't have sugar struggles. Answer me that, dude. All I've been doing is consuming cannabis for the last 20 years as an experiment, essentially, right? Because I couldn't tolerate the pain anymore from some high school and post high school sports injuries, right?
Uh-huh.
And things that I even picked and more injuries I picked up along the way. Like, dude, I swear there was like a 3-year stretch, bro, where I ended up in the hospital or the surgeon's room or talking to a knee surgeon or a joint surgeon, and not the
Right.
kind of joint surgeon we are, bro. And yeah, it was always like pain, 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 pain. They wanted me hopped up on a bunch of stuff, and I wasn't gonna do it. You know the story.
Yeah,
I mean, I did do the hopped up pills, but I'll tell you, I needed not. I went non-narcotic stuff, so they just give me stuff that gave me serotonin syndrome. That's awesome.
right. See, so the
All
adverse
I use is
effect
pot and a
would
little Tylenol when my knees hurt. Some
right.
ibuprofen.
Right, but you have a lot of people don't think about the fact that when you take medications, it's synthetically made for one. You don't really know what type of fillers and shit are in it, and truly what the side effects of long-term use are with those fillers and narcotics until it's too late. With cannabis, it's not as uh, I would say almost intense because your body's expecting to have THC, CBD, CBGs, you know, all those components work naturally in your body.
Indeed. And again, with how would I want to say that? Um, I would say it this way. When it comes to compounds that are unnaturally derivative,
Derived.
that's what I meant. Filler compounds, like Chris says, and even with all the research on them, clearly side effects. I mean, it's easy to understand why even the best medicine cannot always be good for someone. I will quote, though, that I take a medicine for my gout, and I really, in a sense, can't live without it because the flare ups would be so bad that they would literally cripple me at times.
Right, but you also have to understand cannabis is not the cure all for everything.
Oh God, no. And as a matter of fact, that's why I have to still like. I don't care how much weed I smoke, guys. As a matter of fact, weed may lead to gout problems. Let me explain. Some of the munchies I like, as an
Yeah.
example, may actually jack up my gout because of the weed, right? Or
Yep.
whatever, the other way around. You know what I mean? But so
Well,
yeah,
because
no, weed may actually make gout worse in a sense by de facto of me eating bad shit I'm not supposed to
well,
have. Let me be
yeah,
honest. But I
yeah.
will say that
Take
allopurinol is a drug that I take. I don't know who makes the version I get. Honestly, it's just whatever the fuck my insurance pays for that's affordable, I promise. But weed does, or not weed does, but weed itself may not be. Oh snap! Shout out to Scotty Pimpin in the house. What's up? You know, good morning. This motherfucker has a way different schedule than we do. He
right.
said good morning at uh, almost 6 o'clock at night Eastern or
No,
Mountain, rather.
mountain.
Sorry, and almost 8 o'clock Eastern. He's saying good morning. That's our Scotty Pimpin, man. That's that guy
Yeah.
rocking the late show. Hey guys, listen. A little nuggie for you guys. I always like to share a little nuggie with not only our live audience, but people who catch the show later on down the road and so forth. Um, you can actually check out Scotty Pippen. He used to be here on the Wake and Bake America show. He used to be on Blunt Football Talk, and he's now the host of his own show, The Seven with Scotty Pippen. And he does music, he does guests, he does all kinds of stuff. You can check him out at Syndicate Empire Radio. They actually are on Mixler, and if you don't know about Mixler, then you probably are not a radio head. I'm just going to throw that out there, or definitely not a radio/podcast head, right? Mixler, dude, these dudes from Syndicate been using Mixler since they worked for me at the radio station. That's not a joke. These guys are well
Yep.
established. Check out Scotty Pimpin, well established show, well established group of guys that have been doing this for a while. All of them, and what makes just my heart melt, dude, as a guy that wants to see people win. Um, every one of them, I touched their radio careers, and that's personal. That's actually
Yeah.
personal, and that means something to me. So go check them out, please, guys. Support the people that we literally watch them grow their careers, literally, and here at our show, and here at our station, and with us. And so, please check them out. Now, with that said, on the allopurinol thing, I can't help gout with that. It's not
Nope.
possible. But
Nope.
what I can do, you like how I did that? Yeah. What I can do though um, I can help regulate things like insulin resistance. The endocannabinoid system helps regulate insulin resistance, right? So there are certain
Yes.
things where maybe it's not the drug, like it's not going to help you your pancreas reproduce insulin if it doesn't, right? But if you are insulin resistant, you're going to have a problem in life, right? And so
Yes. Big
with
one.
that insulin resistance, I would say, yeah, man, yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, like that's still kind of impacting medicine, but you know what gout does help? Where gout it might help me with gout. I tend to drink a little less because I use pot. If I don't have pot, I might have a few extra drinks. I like to have a good time and loosen up, and sometimes pot does that for me, where I don't even have to worry about the hard part, right?
Right.
Um, so I'm Chris, when it comes to the endocannabinoid system and being able to replace pain medication, yes, 100% could not agree more. When it oh look, Scotty Pitt was nice enough to drop the link in the feed. So check out the feed at podbean.com. Wake dash in dash Bake America show. Follow us, like us, download the shows, listen to the shows, take us on the road. We're not always funny, but we're fucking fun. Mm. Oh, okay. That's a lie. Chris is way more serious than me. I'm always funny because I haven't taken shit serious since like second grade. I literally said I was a 5-year-old with a 401k, bro.
Right.
Do the math. It adds up. I don't take shit serious. They
Yeah,
once
I
asked
mean,
me, "Do you take a shit seriously?" And I was like, "Seriously, I don't even take a shit. I take it
you,
unseriously."
and there's a lot of other things. There's a
What?
lot of different types of cannabis out there these days. I mean, with all the
100%.
crossbreeding and
Designer
uh
style where they're developing these
designers,
different ones for different reasons or like, I
they're
always think back, here's one, Chris. We can never forget this strand. I always think back to flow
oh
because
yeah,
that was literally developed and crossbred to help with period cramps.
yep,
Done. Too
yeah,
easy.
yeah. Listen in, ladies.
What's another good one? Ooh. Any strain that has the cannabis mango strain in it, right,
Uh-huh.
was likely originally around libido and for both the female and male side of the species there.
Yes, sir. But
So
even in that case,
designers is real. RSO, Charlotte's Web was
yeah.
designed to help with seizures. I mean, I could go on for days. You know what? I'll shut up. This is your show.
And that's crazy because that's actually what brought me out there. What got me even started in the radio industry was I had a buddy that had seizures and we were trying to get a hold of Charlotte's Web. I called your radio show and won tickets to a concert.
Yep. I remember with Charlotte's just to kind of throw, look at here, let's name flex. Let's name drop and flex. It's fun anyway. For
Yeah.
me, for Charlotte's Web, it was watching, I think it might have been, I forget, one of the doctors, I might have been Dr. Sanjay
Yeah, it
from
was Gupta.
CNN, maybe.
Yes.
He might not even been with CNN then, but I think he might be now. I don't remember. I haven't watched the news in so long. I can't keep up where Dr. Sanjay's at anyway. Like the
Right.
guy, just don't do I don't do news. I already know the world is horrible and so are people. I just come do my show and have fun and love Chris.
Right.
That's what I do and love you people out there and love all our friends and our family and everything, our radio family, our family. That's all I do. I try to stay away from the news. Cammy tries to talk to me about the news and I'm like, this motherfucker. But then I don't want to, but I want her to have like a
You go
conversation with me and not think she can't. So of course I try
you
to
go
engage in this,
meditate
but
after that, don't you?
huh?
You go meditate after that, don't you?
No, I end up on freaking the news trying to figure out what's really going on because just like anyone, that information came to me from another human secondhand, and I need to
Right.
go
So now
figure
you
out.
got to double check
I
it.
got to go get my 8 sources and get my facts straight. So you know me, I'm a guy that if
Well,
you
yeah,
tell
we're
me
both
something,
like that.
that's
I'm
fine,
looking
that's
into
cool.
it.
Yeah, that's fine, that's cool, but I'm still going to check into it. I'm the guy that does the research. I'm the guy that reads the bill. I'm the guy that reads that manifesto or book that you literally read a meme from. That's it.
Right.
We
But
aren't the
I
same
mean,
level of nerd, and we definitely have never been the same level of researchers, people.
yeah, hell no. Especially with
That's not a flex.
technology
That's just a
nowadays.
fact, man. I
Yep.
don't mind sitting down for 2 hours. I also, in hindsight, I read really fast, but I don't mind sitting down for 2 hours and reading 30 pages of a, budget bill. You know what I mean? Getting it from
Yep.
congressional budget office, which is nonpartisan, so that way I can actually find out who this fucks, right? Like that's just the level of stuff that I really enjoy that we get to do, which is why
Yeah.
even though I knew this was your thing that you wanted to do about the ECSC, I still looked up some stuff, I
Oh
want
yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna let him take charge because
I
he
knew
needs to
you
tell these people.
you couldn't play full dumb.
It's too hard for me on this one, at least.
Yeah.
On this one, I mean, I'll admit. Um, I will tell you, Chris, to get back on track here, station identification time.
Yo, son, Waking Back America Radio.
Tell your friends about this.
Tell your friends jump in the GS3. I got the chronic by the tree.
It's us at Wake and Bake America Show here on YouTube, Wake and Bake America Radio. Some of our shows go there too. I should probably make a video. You know what?
Yeah.
Maybe hey, look, I'm going to make a funny Halloween video because I have a lit costume this year. How about that?
Oh,
That's all I'm
you gonna
saying.
let
I'm not
us?
saying what I'm doing.
I was just gonna say,
I have a toupee. What did you say?
you have a toupee. No,
Oh, I was like, that's hurtful and
you.
very pointed. I've been bald a long time.
I know.
Um, no, actually, forget it. Forget a toupee. It's cool. I fucking love you, man. No,
I've
I
seen
got a wig
pictures with
though.
you
My
with hair
costume
though.
involves a wig. The last time I wore a wig with my costume, I was Gomez Adams, and my kids to
Oh
this
yeah.
day still don't believe that I'm the dude in that picture. Like they legit do not believe. I sent that to my son, and he was like, "Who's that with Mama Cammy?" And I was like, "That is me, fool." And he was like, "Why does that look like my brother?" And I was like, "Because me with hair is what your brother really looks like. It's just the bald thing really takes away and makes him look more like his mom because she's got that good hair." Anyway, she's like a Mexican lady with thick black, jet black Mexican lady hair, right? Like that's his mom. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. So
The only downfall with cannabis is because there's so many different strains out there, it
yeah,
is challenging for a person to find what works for them because every
there's
strain
a
is
lot of
going to be
truth to what
different for
you're saying there.
everybody.
Sometimes, we need to do a show. Chris, text me after the show. Remind me to put this in the notes. Actually, here, I
Okay.
can just write it. Here, I got it.
Yeah, write
I
it.
got
You
it.
got
I'll
it
write it on
now.
my new digital notepad. I'll do it here. Show on. No, seriously, this is how petty I'm being about this. We need to do a show on like a trip to the Endo to the cannabis counter. You know what I mean? Because it is
Yeah.
a daunting task sometimes, especially if you're
Yeah.
new to it. Do you get what I'm saying about doing a show now? Why I say that?
Oh yeah.
And that can be another cannabis show, so we stay on
Yeah, yeah.
brand, still have fun. But anyway,
Got to keep it green.
so when it comes to the endocannabinoid system, tell me some more stuff so I can just kind of science nerd out about it.
Well, I mean, people don't take this into effect too, that terpenes also play a key role in the effects and intensity of the effects that you get from different strains. Uh, Scientists are now doing studies in university on CBD strains, of course, testing the terpenes, the terpene profiles, and the fact that you can actually get some of those other terpene profiles from fruits, vegetables, and other things that you already consume.
I did one of the things that I found fascinating early on, okay? This is a good way to word it, I guess, is that right there. The trip to or not the trip to the cannabis counter. So that's actually a show we're going to do later on in the season, later this season, trip to the cannabis counter, how to find the right stuff. In the meantime, what I meant was one of the things that I had found in doing research on the the endocannabinoid system years ago was that there were very small amounts located in other things. And up until that point, I thought you could only get cannabinoids from weed because, of course, me just being some dumb radio guy that understands like legislation and law, you know what I mean?
And
Um,
sports,
yeah. Oh wow. Lily says, "How about the damn testing for like court CPS and state police. Come on now. Honestly, Lily, I have been against cannabis testing for jobs for a long time because I don't care what you do in your free time as long as it's not, like obviously we don't want a cop that's on meth and coke or fucking heroined out, right? Like obviously. But if a cop smokes a doobie to take the edge off of the job, no different than a beer, and he doesn't go home and beat the fuck out of his wife, I'm actually all for that. So I actually agree completely. I think that if you cannot prove I'm high on the job, then you have no right to be discussing my medical and or personal matters at work because I'm not fucked up at work. So Lily, I actually couldn't agree more to your question in the live chat. Thank you for the question, by the way, Lily. Shout out to Lily, wherever you are, Lily, in the world of the worlds, baby.
She's in Michigan. It's my niece.
Michiganders. I always like Michiganders because you Michigan, not Michigant. I like that.
I think what she's really talking about though is uh, the nanogram level that they set for theoretically being high. You know what I mean?
That's person to person too, by the way.
Yeah,
Like I
because it's
use so much cannabis in so many forms that I would admit that on the amount of cannabis I use, you may personally not be able to drive. You personally, whoever you are, you as a euphemism for anyone, guys, no one take that personally direct, of course, right? But you, whoever you are as a euphemism, is one of those people that you might get high off of that. As much weed as I use, you might be fucking mind blown, man, and couch locked, right? Like I get that, but I'm not. I'm like a fully functioning adult who goes to work on that much cannabis, lives his whole day on that much cannabis, and isn't even stoned by the time he is behind the wheel of the car to begin with, if he's ever even actually stoned to begin with. Because depending on what I took, I may not like. I've noticed that when I take cannabis oil, I rarely feel stoned or feel high or feel inebriated at all, despite taking a spoonful of that shit. You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? Rarely. Now, let me smoke a doob or a good bong rip after I haven't had smoked all day. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little stoned for an hour or two, but I'm also not going
Well, yeah.
anywhere.
Here's a little more science for you because ingesting cannabis, CBD, THC, either form affects you differently when you ingest it compared to if you smoke it.
Wait, say that again? I think I actually heard that backwards. I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
If you ingest cannabis, it reacts different than if you smoke it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I actually like the sort of relaxed body high of not feeling high.
Right.
100%. And Lily says, so a couple, we like to get into the listener comments, especially when the listeners are popping today. They're just lit and live. I love it. Keep them coming, guys. It says, but long-term smokers are higher, but not actually, and I would agree with you, but not high. Like you're
Right.
going to have higher amounts, but you're not going to be high. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's a big
The, oh, sorry, go ahead.
that's the big controversy here in Michigan is the fact that if you are a long-term smoker or you do smoke often, your testing levels are going to be way, way above what they consider legally intoxicated for cannabis. It's
Right.
it's uncomparable to the way they treat alcohol, but yet they want to give you a DUI here for testing positive for THC. Of course you're going to test positive. It takes a prolonged period of time for THC even to leave the system, whereas alcohol is gone the next day.
Right. Alcohol, you're going to metabolize that in, 24 to 36 hours at the most, depending on when you quit drinking and how much you drank.
Right.
And
In cannabis, we're talking 6 to 8 months
I mean, you can't even get
minimum.
alcohol in your blood system in a test after 48 hours at
Right.
all, like at all. I
Right.
would go
So
borderline impossible because by then you'll metabolize all that shit into sugars and it won't be detectable anymore.
that's my biggest controversy with the whole testing shit here in Michigan is that
Right.
it's unfair to the time period it takes for THC
Right.
to leave the system
Well, and
because it
here's another
clings to your
one.
fat cells.
you know, people are like Jamie, who I know personally. He's like, I constantly hit concentrates. Those are 92% THC half the time or higher, right?
Yep.
On his distillates and so forth, right? And so, uh, 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 I just think that you know, you have to consider all these different concepts and things. Nanograms are higher, not your higher. Oh, both can be true, Jamie. Both can be true. I can be higher, and so can my nanogram count, buddy. um, so I just think that as we're sort of moving away from the actual endocannabinoid system and talking about what the listeners are talking about in the live chat, I would just say this because it brings it back to the endocannabinoid system. I think that between ignorance, intolerance, religious overreach, governmental failure to use resources and natural resources, nonetheless, like natural medications, you don't mind digging a coal field, and you don't mind fracking a mine. And sometimes I think that we're in a phase of humanity where that may not be impossible. That may be impossible to not be doing right now. I get that, and I don't have to like it, but I do get that. But when we're basically, you know, doing all the bad ways to exploit resources, but then ignoring something as simple as a plant, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's almost as ridiculous as people who wouldn't eat tomatoes because they were part of the nightshade family, which is poisonous. Okay, but when you say part of the family, it's like the third cousin, dog. Like it's not the same shit. So you know what I mean. But but think about that ignorance when the tomato was first introduced to Europe, and half the people in Europe didn't want to touch it because they thought it might be poisonous. Right? It's the little things in life, Chris. We've
Yeah.
been
Here.
hijacked.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Governmental overreach is definitely here today. It'll be here tomorrow. It isn't going away. And the whole types of drug testing that they do on people is just another way for them to keep the war on drugs going,
You sound like a
especially on
crazy old
cannabis.
like hippie, bro. Calm down. No, you're right.
I'm sorry, man. You can't tell me I'm wrong. It's
Yeah,
another way for them to keep you wrapped up in the tape, even though it's illegal for you to do it. It's legal for you to have it.
I would just argue back to the endocannabinoid system, and in this sense of what we're even talking about, sort of slightly diverted there, right? Um, when it comes to the endocannabinoid system, it helps regulate things. It helps your body. Like for instance, the endocannabinoid system has a huge hand in pain tolerance, pain reception, and pain deflection. Um, and yet if we such a proverbial thought because we're not personally doing this, but as we sit here and watch, entities out there, governmental and otherwise, um, as we watch them, go down that hard road, right? Of I want to make sure that big pharma can sell, pain pills. When the reality is that there's, you know, the biggest failure of something like an American society, right? One of the biggest failures that we're going to have is, and you can call me whatever weird, political hot button word you want to call me today, but here, here, check this out. That's okay, Lily. We would have answered your call though at some point before we ended the show. I promise you. We just like wait on hold. We'll get to you. But it's okay if you're not trying to call in Lily. That's fine. Anyway, I do it too sometimes. I'll accidentally start calling a show, and I'm like, no. I want to remain anonymous and just enjoy my life. Um, so anyway, but what I would say, Chris, is that when it comes to the endocannabinoid system, we're talking about like even being able to deflect pain or at least make the body not be so receptive to its own pain. And then instead of America, the greatest place on earth, doing what it can to extract and use natural resources that are renewable resources that can just keep coming and coming and coming, and we move away from that because something that can keep coming and coming and coming and coming and coming, it's just not as profitable. So it's not worth my time because I can't get rich off of it. And until we shed that disgusting attitude towards stuff, Chris, I think we're going to kind of be in a rough road, right?
And see, I think another thing is too that they're realizing with the places that have opened up the cannabis industry, recreationally and medically, are now seeing the tax revenue that it's bringing. They're seeing the money that they're not making off it.
Yep.
And like I was saying, I mean, the whole testing setup they keep trying to introduce and use in many of the states that are legal are nothing more than a way for them to keep you trapped. And it does have a lot to do with the cannabinoid system, because that also controls how it regulates that it stays in your body.
Correct. Doing its job essentially. Um, and that's the unfortunate part of, for instance, you get all these wonderful cannabinoids, but unfortunately, the THC side is the part that the body has a hard time metabolically breaking down.
Yep. Because
Um,
it stores in your fat cells.
exactly. And even a skinny guy like me is still gonna test positive for cannabis. There's no way around it.
Oh yeah.
And
No.
I mean, guys, I marathon train. I run my ass off, and I still promise you, not happening. There's no way I can't piss clean. There's no way I can piss clean.
We we also have to realize some of the other uses for cannabis as well, for our military people going through PTSD. Uh, your average person goes
Psychological
through
treatment,
P.
yeah.
Yeah.
Helps regulate your psychology, your psychological side of your brain. It helps regulate some of your anger, all kinds of stuff. Nothing's a perfect. Listen, guys, there's no perfect or magic or whatever. As they used to say back in the day, there's no magic bullet, right? There's no way to just done. But
Not even with pills.
no, but you can definitely, I think, really, 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 really make a change in your life. And I even tell some of my hardest core athletes that I rock with, like, guys, you don't have to actually smoke pot to get the same benefits. You can
No.
consume it by eating it with your food as like a shake, like you would use salt or pepper.
Yeah, you can cook with it. It's
Right.
amazing.
I like to cook with it. I like to just like when I get out of here, I already told you I gotta go to the weed store. But it's because I
Yes.
also am out of like weed I can sprinkle on my food, and I'm down to my last few drops of the good old medicine that makes the honey go down or whatever the how does that go again?
Sugar
The
go
spoon
down.
of medicine makes the honey go down. Wait, I said that
Spoonful of
backwards.
sugar. It's a spoonful of sugar.
Either way, I still said it backwards, I'm pretty sure. But hey, that's me.
As long
Hi,
as it
this is who I
works.
am. All right. A couple other things. I always call it the docket, because it's like I feel like we're a court. I
Sometimes.
feel like honestly, I feel like I'm a lawyer in a courtroom presenting my case to the people all the time. So I always call it the docket. But before we get out of here, guys, I just want to say, Chris, I really appreciate you bringing this to the table. We've had probably one of the largest listener interaction and commenting and debating about it, right?
Yeah,
Um,
boy.
we've had on a lot of the shows, so I'm really proud of you to bring a topic that really got some juices jiving with folks and really got some people interested. I really, really mean that, man. This is a really good idea.
Yeah. It's going to get juicier this year, so stay tuned, people.
Yeah, and speaking of juicier, that's actually what I was about to say to you was what do we have coming up on the, metaphorical docket, we'll call it, right? Right. So folks, we've got quite a few shows coming up that are already planned and ready, as well as even some ones you won't even know about. But I'm going to give you the ones that you do know about. Um, I think coming up next week we have the Endo cannabinoid system. No, oh no, wait, oh no, that's
No,
today. Never
that's
mind. Okay,
today. You
okay. So
blonde.
clearly that's not next week. Yeah, whoever wrote that down, you're a dick. Wait, that was me. Okay, I'm a dick. All right, so um, no, coming up next week, we'll be already starting to get about. We're already 7 weeks into the season. At that point, um, we haven't even hit any of our breaks yet, so that's kind of cool. Coming up,
Yeah.
we've got the Oak Island and Skinwalker Ranch episode. That's next. Stick around for
Yeah,
that one,
yeah.
man. Those are
Yeah,
wild.
buddy.
It's also launch. It's like premiere week for a lot of the stations. So a lot of shows
Yeah.
coming out that week trying to grab your attention before the fall starts, right? So we thought we'd bring a couple of shows, one from the summer and one coming out, and just kind of dive into those. And they're two shows that Chris and I really enjoy. And if you're not into
Yes.
that kind of stuff, then well, what's wrong with you, man? That shit's crazy. That shit cray.
Yeah.
What's your order?
Cray.
Fish fillet. All right. So the coming up in the following weeks after that, we of course got oh god, what do we got? We got the White House and Cannabis coming up. I can't even think of the other two shows off the top of my head, Chris. And it's literally across
You
the
don't have.
studio on another desk where I can't see what the
I was gonna
notepad says.
say.
You know what? This is how
Get
I
the
live.
notepad.
Well, if you know me, you know me. And I can't go into my notes because I only have notes for the two shows that are the other two shows coming up that are officially planned. So I guess you guys only getting a 2-show preview for now. But I will tell you that. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. I'm such an idiot. That's the weekend of Halloween, bro.
Oh yeah, the Halloween show.
Yeah, we got our Halloween special coming up. It gets fun. It gets spooky. I'm telling you, I like
We're
Halloween better than
goofballs.
any other holiday in the country. No one asked me
Yes.
for shit. I get to dress up like ninja. I get to dress up like ninja sports,
Princess
character,
Warrior.
cool, funny, ghouly, Jedi, Master, Ninja, Warrior, whatever. You know, I get to do what I get to be the I want. I get to be a 5-year-old, and I
I
get to
get to
forget
reinvent Trey.
the 401k for a minute. No, seriously, I love Halloween. It's so fun to play around, and you know, like I got my light. Ah, give it away. I got my
You're
lightsabers
just
ready, bro. That's
you're
all
a
I'm gonna
natural
tell you. I got my
goofball. That's all there
lightsabers,
is to it.
so that at least you know what I'm theming on.
What color crystal did you get?
I have okay, so because I'm
Come
a Jedi
on.
warrior, master ninja of all things cool, my lightsaber actually changes every crystal color.
Oh, what?
But mine is set to purple like Master Windu because me and that motherfucker share the same haircut, okay? It is what it
You
is.
got a you got a pink pony crystal.
I got a Master Windu crystal, straight purple, dog. Straight
Yeah.
motherfucking straight up unicorn status, bro. Ah!
Purple Trey.
For those of you that don't know why I talk so highly of the purple lightsaber, until Samuel L. Jackson joined the Star Wars franchise as Master Windu, until he joined the franchise, guys, there were only like I think 2 or 3 colors of sabers. That was it.
Yes. Yes.
After he joined
Blue.
Star Wars, they're like, "Well, do you want a blue? Do you want a green? Do you want a red?" And he's like, "Is that all you got?" Like that's straight Samuel Jackson.
Yeah,
Right there, no
right.
doubt about
Yep.
it. Is that the fuck you got? Like you're fucking George Lucas, and that's the fuck you got is 3
You got it
colors.
right.
That's awesome. First off, so if you don't know the
Dude.
story about how all the amazing different colors of lightsabers came about, originally you had the blue and the green, which most Jedi's had either one color, and then the red was, of course, the usually the Siths, the Darths, and so forth, right? And anyway, so he tells George Lucas, you know, why the fuck just those colors? So George Lucas is like, well, what color would you want? And he's like, motherfucking purple. So Master Windu in the first, when you first see him and he has to draw his saber, you see, I think it's during the Clone Wars, if I remember right. You see him
Yeah.
with a colored saber, right? And then all these other people all said have like orange and these just radical, you know, fuchsia and just crazy colors and pink and this, that, and the other. And it all started because of Samuel L. Jackson, guys. So he brought the purple rain and the purple pain and the purple game straight up to Star Wars, y'all. Straight up. Like straight up. I'm pretty sure he's like a huge Baltimore Ravens fan too. So there might be something more behind it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Nerding
I'm
out.
pretty sure he's like a Ravens fan, dude. You know what? This is what Google's for. Hey, Google. What is Samuel L. Jackson's NFL favorite franchise? Let's see where this goes. Oh, no, he ain't an Atlanta Falcons fan. I'm pretty sure by de
Oh.
facto he can't be a Ravens fan. But I was kind of hoping he was.
By de facto.
Well, no, because, you know, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we always, back on our sports show, I used to call him like Lamar. So we used to be like Lamar Samuel Jackson Jr. All right, so listen up, guys. Before we get out of here, we just want to say, what do you want to say? I don't want to speak for you.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.
I want to say probably could go longer on this show, but I want to go get weed. No, seriously, they're open for a while.
Yeah,
Um,
that's cool.
all jokes aside, while I do like to be funny, I do want to say though that I really appreciate you, Chris, not just for this show, but you just gave me another show for later on in the season, the trip to the cannabis counter. I've got it wrote down here on the notepad. Going to put that in the dial-up, guys. There's a show you'll know about, but when we do it, will you know when? We don't know. Like us, follow us here, because then you'll get alerts when we start shows. We're usually here every Tuesday, 7:30 Eastern, 5:30 Mountain, or thereabouts. If sometimes we have to start a little later because Chris is stuck in traffic. Sometimes we have to start a little later because I have to run to a weed store. Today,
Right.
I decided to be kind and do it after, which is also why this show is so short. No, I'm just kidding.
We are also on Instagram and TikTok too.
100%. Instagram it, TikTok, Slicky Slop, Hippie Hop. I don't know. I just want to say that last one. Hey, listen, guys, remember, there's only 3 things that you have to do in this world. Okay, technically you don't have to do the first one, but you should. Be kind. The second one is die. Sorry, just being honest. And the third one is pay your fucking taxes because the government is ruthless. I'm out. We out. We out.
Hey, peace.
Hey, yo. Booming systems across Colorado.
Hear the crowd go.
We like the cars that go boom.
That means I'm chilling.
Lazy.